Yes, that was beautiful. Here is our lady butcher, Amanda James from SA Gourmet Meats. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, Peter.
Oh, you're hilarious.
Hey, oh, Women's Day, sorry.
Exactly. Who are the women in your life who've inspired you and influenced you?
I've got so many. Of course, my mother, who taught me a lot about cooking, with the Green and Gold Cookbook.
Yes.
A couple of sisters that have been fabulously strong and wonderful in my life. But other people along the way, like what I mentioned last time, the Orange Lane Market, there are a lot of women in that circle that were just really...
Claire Benito was there. Claire Benito.
Yeah, exactly. And Pat from Rock and Rustic
and Pam Johnston, yes.
Yeah, just really big figures. Jane in the corner, Plain Jane, and Jenny Ramos, and just this fine group of women to look up to.
Norwood changed, didn't it? The moment Orange Lane Market went, something died in Norwood. I love that, man. You remember Pam and Ian's barbecue there? They'd have those fantastic rissoles and sausages in those bread rolls. It would,
and her homemade sauce in
beautiful.
The flag.
Loved it.
Wonderful memories.
And I heard of them the other day. They're well and happy on Kangaroo Island. Pam and Johnston.
Yeah, they are very happy down there.
Now, there you are as a lady butcher, and do you just work at Glenelg or other shops too, Amanda?
I do just work at Glenelg, but it's about the people I work with than the store. I could work at Port Adelaide, which would be closer for me, but I love the little drive along the beach in the morning. It's perfect.
Where do you park there at Glenelg?
High Street. If you get there early enough, there's free parking on High Street.
And then you walk back to the shop.
Have said that. Now everyone will.
Does the shop have a back door?
There is a back door with one little part, but you've got to be lucky to get that one.
How many of you there in the shop?
Oh, goodness me. There's usually about six of us. Not all at once, though. I mean, at Christmas time, everybody's on deck. But, there's a sort of base staff of about 6 at the moment, including, young kids. Help.
And you have apprentices?
We're thinking about getting one, for sure. Yeah, Dan was saying that the other day.
I've often wondered, with cold rooms, Amanda, is there a way... What if the door locks behind you? I mean, that happened tragically.
There is,
up in the hills. How do you get out?
Well, there's a panic button, I think, and there's no way our door could lock. It just doesn't even have a lock on it. It's a sliding door. So, in the past I've seen, buttons that raise alarms big time, but what an awful thought.
I know. Well, it has happened, and it's terrible. Yes. And my friend Roger Shepherd, the drag queen, who's 90, did a show once out at a hotel in the northern suburbs. And when they got there, the backstage and one little dressing room had been flooded, and so they had to walk around on planks, and they had to change in the cold room. Hanging up their frocks with the meat.
The headlights are on.
Amanda, do you have to be funny to be a butcher? You've got to be...
I think it helps.
Yeah.
You get a lot of people over the counter that you sometimes don't want to talk to, but you have to. But, no, it helps to... I treat it like the stage, Peter. I treat it like every customer is a new audience.
Yes.
And, I've got my side of the counter, and what I say goes.
Because male butchers have always been, they've had they've winked, they've flirted in a way, often with female customers. But do you do that with male customers?
Oh, yes. It wouldn't be right if I didn't. No, I'm shocking. I'm happily married, 20 years now, but I'm a flirt.
Well, why not? Why?
That's right. We're here once, aren't we?
Is it something to do with the flesh that you're thumping around?
Maybe. I mean, who doesn't like putting a few sausages in a piece of bread or slapping them around the place? I mean, every time I go in the cool room, I slap a little lamb on the bum. It's the done thing.
Oh, Amanda. Now, all your beautiful meat. I love your sausages. Now, recipes for us. Stews and slow cooks.
Oh,
Yes.
mate, we're coming into that era now, aren't we? Like the winter's creeping upon us. We can
Yes.
feel it.
Yes.
And there's nothing better than putting on some osso buco or meaty beef ribs in the slow cooker, either in a gravy base with Guinness and pearl barley, or a rich tomato sauce with like Lucia's beautiful sauces. But you know, it's just that feeling of, it's that comfort food thing, you know. I mean, who doesn't love a meat pie that's all slow cooked and delicious? But I've never been able to get a pie to have a not soggy bottom. And nobody likes a soggy bottom.
No, we don't want a soggy bottom.
We don't want a soggy bottom. And I tend to serve it with a bit of mash, but I'll just do some puff pastry triangles in the oven to just stick in the mash afterwards. And it's a bit of a deconstruction, but yeah, look, thick, rich stews are just really good, and you know, you've got a few meals for the week.
And you can put them in the freezer.
Absolutely, you can. Yeah, if you don't go back for seconds. But, yeah.
And do you have those like a crock pot?
Oh yeah, yeah. Or you could just use a really heavy base, you know, Le Creuset, whatever you can get your hands on, a nice heavy base sauce that'll go into the oven as well, and just have the oven ticking away. But yeah, look, the old crock pot. Remember the old orange ones?
Oh, they had to be orange, yes. I think they only came in orange.
Burnt orange, I think, and brown.
And now, monument grey, that colour that everybody has everywhere. I hate it. And that's become that's the burnt orange of our time, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Everything
grey, I hate it. It's everywhere. And food in the 70s, what do you remember?
Oh, darling, we've come a long way from ham steaks and pineapple.
Do you still sell ham steaks?
Oh, thankfully, no.
Why?
Oh, look, every now and then you'll get someone that asks. But we don't keep a processed ham like that in our shop. Yeah, it's just sort of faded out, Pete. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some places you can still get one, but we don't encourage it.
It was huge in the 70s, ham steaks, wasn't it?
But to eat a big, thick chunk of ham now just makes me kind of gag.
Oh, I like ham. I could live on ham and eggs. I could live on it. I practically do anyway. But and it had to have a pineapple ring on top, didn't it?
Oh, every time. Always. And a little cherry maybe, just to make it look really flash.
What happened to pikelets?
What did happen to pikelets? I think they need to come back. You know, the Sunday pikelet fest.
Yes.
Maybe a bit of, you know, salmon or hors d'oeuvre kind of a thing. But yeah, look, pikelets, and I always knew Mum and Dad were going out when I was a kid, because Mum would make tuna mornay and there'd be ramekins in the fridge ready for us to bang in the oven. And they'd be going to the Hotel Enfield to see the Baron of Beef or the Bull and Bush.
Yes, wow.
I'm just looking in the fridge going, you beauty, we've got tuna mornay.
I love tuna mornay. Wilsey makes the best tuna mornay I have ever known.
Yes, sir.
And she puts slivers of blanched almonds in it.
Ooh. Well, that's...
No, I love a tuna mornay.
Yeah.
And crumpets, of course. See, the world changed. You used to only be able to buy crumpets in the winter.
Yes. Now it's all year. Oh.
I've had to eschew crumpets because of my diet. I haven't had a crumpet in 5 or 6 months. I love crumpets.
Time without crumpets.
Amanda, I love crumpets. Yes. Anyway.
It's the whole carb thing, isn't it? Carbs.
Now, a question from a listener. Do you cook a lamb burger or a roux burger different from a beef burger?
Look, I wouldn't think so. I mean, a roux burger you probably wouldn't have to cook as... Oh, there's not a lot of fat in a roux burger, so... Yeah, I wouldn't be... I'd be doing that fairly quick.
But a lamb burger would have fat in it, same as a beef burger.
So same with a beef burger. I mean, we have brisket burgers, and they're quite fatty, but the flavour is amazing. But yeah, lamb burgers we do as well with the feta cheese, and they're really tasty. But yeah, look, all burgers, it shouldn't be more than, 3-4 minutes aside, really, depending on how fat the burger is,
What's the difference between a patty and a rissole?
Oh, you got me there.
Because I have a mixed
On
grill.
the outside.
Is a patty bigger than a rissole? A rissole is sort of chunkier, isn't it?
Well, a rissole's like just a meatball in my mind. I don't know.
A slightly flattened meatball, yes.
Mm.
But a patty is what you put in a hamburger.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of sums it up, really. Yeah.
And George is asking, Hazlitt, does anyone still produce it? What's Hazlitt?
Oh my God, I haven't heard of that one.
I don't know. And someone's saying, and Melinda's saying, vote one ham steaks. I wonder, where do you get ham steaks?
What have I done?
It's a Hazlitt is some sort of Frankenstein type sausage meat. Who I've never heard of Hazlitt.
I've never heard of Hazlitt.
No.
There we go.
Oh, that's
we
interesting.
learn something every day.
Well, bring back the ham steaks. You could order some in. They'd probably sell.
Oh, maybe.
You don't sound, you're not convinced.
We can see what we can do.
You're not convinced.
Not
You're funny. And now your daughter Magenta, named for the Rocky Horror Show, would you tell her that there's a Rocky Horror Show on Friday, May the 13th at the Capri?
Oh, are you doing it?
Yes, I'll be there. But if you and she would like tickets, you can be my guests.
Oh, fabulous.
And I can introduce Magenta from the stage. I'd love to.
She'd love that.
Apparently Hazlitt is English. It's bastardised pork meatloaf with herbs. I like meatloaf. Do you make meatloaf?
No, we haven't done. No. We're pretty, we don't have a lot of room, really. You've seen our cabinets. They're not enormous, but yeah, look, Hazlitt,
But they're beautiful. They're pristine, your cabinets.
They are. It's a lovely, lovely shop. It really is.
It is a lovely shop. No, it's
Beautifully
beautiful.
clean shop.
No sawdust on the floor.
Is it sort of related to haggis or something? Is it?
Oh, I don't know. Well, you've got haggis in the shop, I see.
We do have haggis and black pudding.
Yes. I quite like haggis. Thank you, Amanda. You're very welcome on the show. Our lady butcher, Amanda James. Thank you, ma'am. All the best.
Thanks very much, Peter. Good night.
She's fun. Now, here is Sinead O'Connor, who's changed her name to